Hello and welcome to episode 43 of 360 Gamercast for Tuesday, the 10th of November 2020. I'm your host, Mark Webb, Gamertag, PSMD, Steam ID, Webby, 360G, and joining me today is...
Nothing interesting to say. Cinema Dan.
Oh, I feel sorry for these guys that pay for this and they have to deal with me. It's number one stunt master.
Oh dear.
What an explosive start.
Way!
I seem to be stuck behind this bloody Patreon or whatever it is on no Patreon.
Your paywall, yeah. It's where you put all the best stuff, mate. All your best wares under the counter.
Yeah, man.
Exactly. You got to pay top dollar to get your dulcet tones.
Yeah, I know. I feel sorry for the fuckers.
Yeah, so this is the Patreon show. Obviously, just so you guys know, we're going to be doing an Xbox Series X special episode and a PS5 special episode, and both those
just with Darren on.
Yeah, well, this is the thing, right? So Darren's the only one who's getting both the systems, which is awesome. But I'm going to be getting some community members on as well, who've also picked up one of the new consoles.
I'll get a week off then.
Yeah. But those episodes are going to be Patreon exclusive episodes as well.
Oh, bloody hell, man. Rack them up.
Rack them up, mate. Rack them up. Yep. So I'm looking after the patrons, mate. It's what it's about.
Exactly. Fair enough.
See, I've just realised that's probably the only reason I come on this episode, because I don't have to pay for it. Because I won't listen to them otherwise.
You tight fucker.
Charity begins at home.
It does indeed.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's go with the news first. I'm quite liking this going with the news first at the moment. It's
top of the news, top of the hour.
It breaks up.
What's happened this week then?
Dun. That's countdown, by the way, not the news music. We do need a news jingle. I need to find a news jingle.
This is the news.
Do. This is the news.
Well, what's the news then? Come on, chop. Stop fucking about.
Hang on.
I reckon you should have Danny die.
I've got it. This is the news with Webby, Dan, and Stunty.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Go on.
I still think Danny died.
Yeah. Back off. Shut it. Shut your fucking cake out.
Yeah.
Proper mugs.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Yeah, what's happened?
What has happened is... God,
this is really shit, mate. Come on.
So the Xbox Series X is out on Tuesday, which we've already talked about. The PS5 is out next week. It won't support 1440p, though, which is a little bit frustrating to some gamers out there, because there's a lot of gamers out there that are PC gamers, and they want to play, say, buy a PS5 for the exclusives, and they want to plug them into their 1440p monitors, but the PS5 won't support 1440p, which is a bit silly, but there we go.
Oh well, so that's a story. That's everyone's crying over their fucking consoles right now about that one.
Yeah, but there's a bit of good news about the PS5. I've been watching some video. Well, I watched a video review on Digital Foundry about the PS5 this week, and I'm actually quite excited for the new controller.
Yeah, it's getting a lot of praise, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. Haptic feedback.
What does that do?
Well, it does. So the controllers. Hang on, let me just try and find it on the YouTubes.
Does it make you a better gamer?
No, it's just more awesome, isn't it?
It's like it's the Rumble, which is what the Xbox did anyway.
Yeah.
But it's also things like if you're playing Horizon Zero Dawn or something. I mean, there is other games, but I'm just thinking of something I know of, and that is basically if you're putting like the crossbow. You can put it at certain angles and it will work. Instead of it just pulls it, you can just hold the trigger down at a sort of slightly down. It will, do bits and bobs.
So I was watching the Digital Foundry one, and they were saying that with the Astrobot game that comes with every single PS5, it works really well. It just really shows off the controller, like the different. So with the triggers, as you were saying, Stunty, they can become, harder to push at, for certain gameplay points. and just the overall feel of it is just apparently very, very good.
You still haven't really explained this very well. So basically, are you saying that the controller, the tenseness on the triggers,
Yeah, kick and
varies?
change. Yeah.
Can change. Okay, that's all you need to say because I was confused there. I'm probably confused as Clarky as he usually is.
It's not that hard to confuse people, to be fair.
Okay, that sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have. Go on.
That doesn't sound game changing though.
I think it depends what
they
you're
were saying
playing,
it
though, isn't it?
was, yeah.
I think it's hard for us to really go on about it because we haven't had the chance to play it, have we?
Yeah, it's
No.
true.
I mean, I've watched a few videos and it looks like there is a lot of praise for the PlayStation 5 because a lot of things are different. It's not just like an upgrade. They've changed the dashboards. It's a whole new style dashboard. And I'm amazed actually. It's got quite good praise. I mean, the only negative thing I saw, which I thought was fucking hilarious, is that Best Buy in America have had PlayStation 5s overheating. Shock horror. But when you actually look at what they've been overheating in, no wonder they're overheating because they're stuck in a plastic case with no ventilation at all on them. So you put yourself in a box for 24 hours, you're probably going to cook yourself. So, but there we go. You know what it's like. We're living this day and age.
So what we're basically saying is, you got to keep your PS5 outside the cage, stand it up, keep it well ventilated, and then don't moan too much if you think your triggers are both broken. Yeah.
If both you what?
If you think your triggers are broken.
All right.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. So, sorry, I just had to. I'm just not feeling too great this evening. But yeah, what I was going to say is, the thing that Digital Foundry was saying about the PS5 compared to the Xbox Series X is the PS5 feels more like a traditional console generation, whereas the Xbox Series X just feels like, another mid gen upgrade. It's all about the power, not the new games, just running the older games with more power. And then interesting that I was saying about this Astrobot as well was it kind of pays a homage to a lot of the old PlayStation games as well. Like there's different rooms within the game that like there's one with Cloud's Buster Sword in stone, and there's some other games like Spyro and stuff like that. Just little nods to to people that have played through all the PlayStation console generations. And I just think that's quite cool. Yeah, so it's just interesting to see it looks to me that PlayStation have made a lot of changes when it comes to moving over to the next gen, especially with the controller, which I'm actually now, as I said before, quite excited for. Whereas, as I say, Xbox, it feels like more of a step up. It's just all about the power. A lot of the reviewers are saying it's the most PC console that they've ever played, if that makes sense. It's just very fast, very powerful. Like I watched a video where they turned it on and they were loaded into a game within like 6 seconds or something crazy, which is pretty awesome, to be honest. But I think the problem is with the Xbox is when you buy it and you set it up, it won't feel new because the dashboard's the same as the current Xbox dashboard. The controllers are pretty much exactly the same, and you're going to be playing all the same games, just more shiny. So when you get that feeling when you buy a new console and it's all completely different and there's some brand new games that you can only play on that system. It's quite a it's quite a cool feeling when you get that console, isn't it? Whereas I think
I suppose.
I mean, I'm not downplaying the Xbox because it looks, a really good piece of kit. But I think, those people that get, I think, some of that magic of when you set up that new console will be lost on a lot of people. But that's just my feeling anyway.
Yeah, I suppose to a degree. I mean, you've still got backwards compatibility with the PS5 still, I guess. I think when it comes back, a lot of this will wear off in no time. You kind of, the whole kind of concept of a console feeling new only lasts a short while anyway.
Of course, yeah,
but I think what Xbox
it's back. It's backwards compatible with every single Xbox generation, which I know a lot of people aren't bothered about backwards compatibility, but I think for a lot of people, it's another incentive to do the upgrade because you can play your whole library. It's just knowing that it's there is enough for a lot of people, you know.
Hmm.
So
Well, on top of that, you do have Game Pass as well, which
yeah, of
automatically
course, yeah,
gets you all that stuff, all that goodness. And also, if you look at some of the console generations which failed, I guess, in the past, such as the Wii to the Wii U, I suppose there was backwards compatibility with the Wii U to the Wii, but it wasn't clear, and you had to have the peripherals again. You'd actually had your Wii
yeah,
remotes to carry that over.
yeah,
So I think they've worked pretty hard to try and follow that through and make it crystal clear that it is technically a console. Although it is a new console, it is, well, in my eyes, the next step up. I mean, you can only reinvent the wheel so many times, I feel.
yeah,
Sony seem like they've had a stab at it. Time will tell.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, is this banging on about this whole backwards compatible stuff, and it's like, I mean, Sony have been doing it a bit longer than Xbox, to be honest, but it's just they didn't do it on the PlayStation 3 to the PlayStation 4
yeah,
because the fact being is the PlayStation 3 was a disaster because of the whole engine of the PlayStation 3. You think even the PS1 went to PS2, it had backwards compatible, didn't it? And they did bring it out on the PS3, but then they removed it very quickly. It's a certain engine, wasn't it? So it's only the very first PS3s that actually had the PS2 and the well, actually, the PS1 is still playable on the PS3.
yeah,
But no one
yeah.
knows that actually. I don't know why they never really advertised it. Did
I
they?
know, I know. It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, because even I didn't know about it for years, and it was
Oh,
like,
really?
no,
Oh,
I didn't know about it because I mean, that generation, I was more Xbox.
yeah,
And it was only when someone said, "Oh, you do realise you can play a PlayStation 1 game in your PS3?" I was like, "Really? Didn't even know that."
yeah.
So
That's cool.
there is a few issues though. I have come across a few games that do fuck around on the PS3. One of them was Music 2000. That didn't work very well on it, probably because of just I don't know if it's emulated. I'm not really sure how it works.
I remember that game. I was shit at it.
Oh, I've got some really good music on it. I made.
Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, I've still got the memory card somewhere. So
banging, mate.
yeah. Oh, he's banging techno.
Hogarth has mentioned that the Xbox Series X can make Xbox One games play better, so it'll make them run with 60 FPS. It'll give them HDR. So games that didn't have HDR will give them auto HDR. He says that's the best backwards compatible feature for him, and that is cool for some people, sure. But then there's a lot of people who will be like, well, I've played those games, I don't want to play them again. So it's great for people that either want to replay games or haven't played them. But then most people that have already played single player games, especially, do you really want to play them again? Don't think so. That's just my opinion. Because I've seen that Xbox are banging on about Gears 5 all the bloody time. Oh, look at the ray tracing, it looks amazing. And in the back of my mind, it's this game's really old now, and I fucking hated it. Talk about something else.
Yeah.
I've been playing Gears 5 this week.
The trouble is there isn't much else coming out on the Xbox, so is it? That was the last exclusive, wasn't it? Gears 5?
No, there's been more since then. I'm sure there has.
No, but the big AAA exclusive. That was the last big one, wasn't it?
I don't know. My memory's shot the pieces.
I think it was because Sea of Thieves was before that, wasn't it?
There's been stuff. I think. I'm sure there has. There probably has. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. But I'm just wondering what it was because I can't think what it was. Or was it Crackdown 3?
Crackdown 3 was an old one. Yeah, it was it last Christmas? We had a load of new stuff come out.
I don't know. I really can't remember when the last triple X.
We've got to that point, guys, haven't we? When our memories are shot to pieces.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. I was on the ball earlier, but I've been sitting in front of my PC for 12 hours today, and I stepped away for some dinner and to put the boy to bed and that, and now I'm back, and it's literally about half an hour before we started recording the podcast, I started just feeling really rough. So, oh, for fuck's sake, typical.
So November blues, man.
Yeah.
One of the guys, Ashimutsi, I don't know if that's how you say your name.
Ashimitsu.
He actually asked, is there going to be cross-gen party chat? Well, there is anyway, isn't it, on games, but not actually. They won't be on the dashboard, but you might. You get it with COD, don't you?
Yeah, you will do because it'll be the same as on the Xbox anyway. You can cross party chat from PC to Xbox. So yeah, I imagine that you'll be able to do the same between the Xboxes.
No, well, what I'm saying is if you want to do Xbox, I mean, I know Xbox and PC are in bed anyway, but what I'm saying is Xbox and PlayStation, you'll probably only get it if the actual game supports it, like COD.
Oh, you mean cross game chat?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we've all got Discord anyway, mate.
Yeah.
So it's not a real big issue, is it?
No, there is more games that are getting the cross game
Cross-play,
isn't it? Cross play, because my daughter, she's got friends that are on Xbox and PlayStation, so she has to try and switch between the two.
Yeah.
And there's stuff like Dauntless.
Oh yeah, that's cross-play between everything. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And then, as I say, Minecraft is, and Apex is as well. Rocket League is another one as well. So there's more and more. It's getting better, I must admit.
Yeah. Okay, is there any other news? Oh yeah, this news made me chuckle a little bit. I know I shouldn't chuckle, but Square Enix reportedly lost over $63 million on the Marvel Avengers game.
This reminds me of Tomb Raider now.
Yeah, that's. I did have a curious look to see whether or not that game had crashed in price yet, and it hasn't. It's still charging full whack. So obviously they're still charging. Obviously, there's only time will tell before that starts discounting or going free to play.
Yeah,
but you know you are looking at a massive license there.
It didn't sell very well, did it? Because it just didn't review very well. And everyone I know who's played it said, yeah, when they get it, they all say, "Oh, it's really really good," and then a couple of hours in, yeah, it's just the same old shit over and over again. Why did I buy this?
Yeah, lol.
Could even be people have got over, too much superhero shit? Yeah.
I don't know. They had a
got that years ago.
He had negative news on the run up, especially with that whole Spider-Man PlayStation exclusive news, and trying to turn that fucking dog shit into a prize fucking piece of news to sell your fucking game. It was just a completely toxic news event, basically. Everyone was like, well, we want to play Spider-Man on Xbox, but you can't because it's Sony exclusive.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, fuck off. I'm not bothering with this game. You're giving me a game, but you're giving me a game without the best character in it. So, why should we bother? Fair enough. If you want to give away Hawkeye over to PlayStation, we don't care about that. Okay, fuck him. But Spider-Man, come on, sort it out.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's the way I feel about that game. I was interested, and now I'm not.
The last piece of news I've got is Mass Effect Legendary Edition, which includes Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3, is coming out next year, spring next year, for Xbox One, PS4, and PC, and it will have forward compatibility with Series X and PS5.
And what is it? A remaster or is it a rehash?
Remaster.
Yeah, it's just HD'd up, mate. That's it. So it's gonna be a lazy EA port.
So the combat's going to be shit, good to okay, good. Yeah, would you say?
I mean, Mass Effect. I mean, I played Mass Effect probably a year or two ago, and it is still a good game, but it is a bit ropey in places.
Let's be honest. You've been doing all the same decisions as you were last time. So what's the fucking point?
Yeah, I won't play it. Yeah, I won't buy it again because, as I said, I only played it 2 years ago, and well, not even that. And I'm halfway through Mass Effect 2 on the PS3, and I sort of didn't bother to play it anymore. Not because I didn't like the game; it's just other things come along.
I mean, if you've already played them, why would you want to put yourself for another 100+ hours again of the same game?
I know. Elliot's going to.
I know, but it's like there's so many good games coming out. Mm-hmm. Play the new ones.
If you do like them though that much, you would play it again. I mean, there's always games out there that even it might just be you, Webby, but I would play old games again if I've left them long enough. Maybe you didn't play Mass Effect. I mean, you think, when did Mass Effect come out, the original? Is that 10 years ago?
10, 13 years ago.
Oh, yeah. So if you wanted to play it now, 10 years later, you've probably forgotten the story. So
Well, not really.
Uh,
Go around, just trying not to die.
it sounds to
Simulating
me.
races.
There's a lot of people that do though. You think we've had it with loads of remasters. You think from the Splinter Cell, they did the trilogy of that, Metal Gear Solid. You know, there's loads of games they've rebought back out again, and people still play them.
I suppose you've got a whole brand new audience, I guess, to play it.
It's like films,
there's
isn't it? You know, they rehash the
yeah.
Blu-ray again, remaster it for the 30th year or something or other.
Yeah.
This will happen more and more.
Yeah, I got no, I've got no qualms about them wanting to do it, but an awful people did get very excited about the worst kept secret in gaming. And fair play, I would play them again. I played them once. And the first one I did in, was it 10 hours? You can do it easy peasy. Second one a little bit longer. Third one a little bit longer, and then redo it again to get the remastered endings done.
Yeah, the first one I think it was 11 hours it took me to do, because I didn't fuck around on it as well, because there is a lot of stuff on there you could just get lost.
Well, it's driving around the Mako pretty much, trying to have fun driving that around.
Trying to drive it, yeah, because it was like the Halo vehicle.
That was awful, wasn't
it? But I did enjoy it though, even though it was awful. I did enjoy it, and then it disappeared from 2, didn't it? They didn't have it on 2 or 3. It was quite exploring, and that was the one thing they did with 2, wasn't it? They brought that thing where you had to scan the bloody worlds. Oh yeah, that was a pain in the arse. It was just like had to keep moving the stick over to a certain thing. Go scan, nothing here. Scan. It's like fucking hell. It's like a job.
Yeah,
it was a job in space. Anyway, I hope we haven't put you off playing the remastered editions of Mass Effect.
Oh God. I think that it's just gonna look awful, isn't it? As well, that's the thing. It's gonna be like, it's EA. We've spent as little money on it as possible. May upraised it a little bit. We just want your money now because we brought out fuck all else in the last few years.
If you haven't played it, then I recommend it, because it is actually a good game. If you don't mind that sort of era, don't forget it's a little bit old school now, isn't it? Really, think about it. The number
especially the first one. Yeah.
I mean, 3 is probably the most Gears of War style game, I'd say, for the combat. 2 was still a little bit shonky, but 3 was proper. The combat was pretty good actually.
Hogoff asks. He says the loading screens with the lift in Mass Effect 1.
Oh yeah.
You remember those? Well, if it's on the Series X, mate, they'll be the quickest lifts ever.
I will actually be throwing up by the time you step out.
Quantum lifts. Done.
Yeah. I must admit that was the other thing with that game. It was slow.
Yeah.
It took forever to load bits on it.
Right, shall we? Is there any other news from anyone else?
Yes.
Go.
Sega.
Oh yes.
Sega.
Sold off their arcade.
Oh, that makes me sad.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's still gonna be development, for what I understand it. It's just that times are tough at the moment. They're having to restructure because no one's going to the arcades and no one's allowed to go to the arcades.
Yeah,
so we shall see.
They weren't doing very well in Japan, and now since COVID, they've got no tourists at all. Even though Japan has actually got quite a low rate of COVID, it's just destroyed it really.
You
never know. But the only thing is though, they've sold the business off, but they haven't. They've still got the rights to make new arcade games for arcades. So they still can do that. Yeah. If you read into it, they've sold the arcade business off. So that means all the units and the rest of it that they sell, but they still got some kind of something going on. So if they wanted to bring out another Outrun 4 or whatever, arcade unit, they can do that.
See, a lot of people are thinking that Sega are going to go under, but people forget they publish quite a lot of a lot of popular games.
Well, they do Football Manager, don't they? That does really
Football Manager, the Yakuza series, which is hugely popular. We've got Phantasy Star Online as well, and the Total War games on PC, which are massively popular.
All the shitty Sonic games they can't get right.
True, yeah.
I think they'll be fine at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think so.
And they better not go bust because Bayonetta 3 is coming soon, and we need to play that.
Shiny.
Is that a Nintendo exclusive?
Yep. Nintendo Switch.
Cool.
Yes, hopefully next year. Hopefully. We'll see, though. No firm news yet, but it's down for next year, I think. So, yeah. Oh, well.
Cool. Any other news?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
If you wish to listen to the rest of this podcast episode, then visit patreon.com/360gamercast. There we have a variety of options for you to support the show from as little as £5 a month. That £5 a month gives you an extra 2 episodes a month. That means you get a podcast episode every single week, unlike everyone else who gets a podcast episode once every 2 weeks. I hope you can support the show to help us pay for the hosting and the website and some cool stuff that is coming in the future. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to 360 Gamercast. And remember, next time the boss isn't around, join us in the forums at 360gamercast.com.